Turn around for me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, I'm
under
gonna
arrest.
take this. I'm gonna take this.
That doesn't change anything. You still are going to be arrested.
But what?
Okay.
You don't have any proof on me.
No, ma'am, I do.
GloRilla just got hit with felony charges after cops found a bunch of weed and a controlled substance in her crib, but it ain't what it looks like. She got arrested on July 22nd, 2025 in Forsyth County, Georgia. Now, with her old DUI and reckless driving cases, people are saying the Memphis Queen might be done for good.
But like, where did this come from? I never heard somebody say that until you said it.
Seriously?
You didn't make that up?
I actually didn't make that up.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know where I saw this at, but they was like, I saw a post, they said, crackheads be giving out the best advice. One of them just walked up to me and said, at the end of the day, to take out.
But here's the real tea. This ain't no trap queen setup. GloRilla wasn't pushing weight. Her house got robbed while she was out in Indianapolis performing at the WNBA All-Star Weekend. And instead of going after the burglars, cops flipped the script and locked her up after finding weed in her room. Imagine calling the police because your home just got violated and they arrest you for your own stash while the actual thieves disappear. She ended up posting a $22,260 bond just to get out, all this while being the victim. Talk about twisted. GloRilla didn't stay quiet either. She jumped on Twitter and let it all out. My house got home invaded Saturday while I was in Indianapolis, performing for the WNBA All-Star Game, and instead of focusing on finding the suspects, they focus on some cannabis. That post blew up, 3.6 million views and counting. To really see how it all went left for GloRilla, you gotta know where she came from, and trust this ain't no fairy tale. Gloria Hallelujah Woods grew up deep in South Memphis, packed in a house with 9 siblings, 6 brothers and 3 sisters. South Memphis ain't no joke. It's one of the toughest hoods in the South. They were out there sleeping on air mattresses like it was top-tier furniture, just trying to make it to the next week. Her name, that wasn't random. Her mom gave her Hallelujah as a middle name because she always knew Gloria was different. All the brothers got Carmichael and the sisters had Nicole, but she got blessed with something else. And get this, before all the street anthems and viral bars, Gloria was singing gospel in church.
I used to sing Amazing Grace. I used to sing this song called Encourage Yourself.
You were really a singer.
Yeah, I used to be singing in church. Like, I had a good voice. And then, once I had gotten in high school, we weren't going to church like that. When I got in high school, then when I got in high school, I had started smoking weed.
Forget the singing.
When I had finally linked with him, it was on a yacht. We had met on the yacht and stuff, and we was just chopping it up. And then the rest was history.
How you get to Gotti last, though? Gotti right there in Memphis.
Right, because it's like, I don't know. I probably was scared.
Every Sunday, she was front and center in the choir, belting out songs like Amazing Grace and Encourage Yourself. Girl could really sing, not just rap. But once high school hit, everything started to shift. The choir days faded, and the streets came knocking. Church Sundays turned into rolling up with friends, and that loud pack slowly replaced the hymns. That's how the Memphis Queen started her path, from church solos to the trap beat drops. Gloria's singing days faded, and by early 2022, her rap grind was in full swing. That's when she linked up with producer Hit Kid, and boom, they dropped F and F, Let's Go, the track that flipped her whole career overnight. This wasn't no regular studio vibe. It was straight magic. The song went crazy viral on TikTok, charted on Billboard Hot 100, and even got a Grammy nom. But FNF was more than just a banger. It became a movement. Women everywhere took it as an anthem, standing up and saying they didn't need some broke dude to feel powerful. Free wasn't just a word. It was a whole vibe.
My mama always say she marked me, but I ain't never feel no special than none of the other kids who y'all was treated the same. It's just growing up, my mama had me near her. Like, I was like...
No more depending on dusty dudes for rent or self-worth. But when the fame hit, so did the mess. Hit Kid started calling Glo and her label CMG out, saying they tried to grab ownership of the track behind his back. Classic case of success, bringing out the chaos. Still, GloRilla didn't back down. She clapped back, showing she wasn't one to get played. She proved early on that she had that boss mindset. That whole FNF blow-up? Just the beginning. In the music biz, once you pop, everybody starts circling, trying to eat off your plate. Every major label wanted a piece of GloRilla, flying her out, flashing cash, promising the world. But Glo wasn't just hype-blinded. She had street smarts and business sense. She spent 2 full weeks meeting with labels before finally linking with Yo Gotti. Even then, she was low-key nervous. Gotti had that Memphis legend status, and the pressure was real. But what locked it in wasn't just his name or money, it was his vision. While other execs saw FNF as a lucky break, Gotti saw her as next up. When she played him unreleased tracks on a yacht, his reaction was instant. He knew she was more than one viral hit. He didn't just want to ride the wave, he wanted to build a legacy. Gotti knew Memphis had the crown, and Glo was next in line. But once she signed with CMG and started blowing up, the pressure didn't stop. It shifted. That's when the system came knocking. April 2024, GloRilla got hit with DUI charges in Gwinnett County. Now celebs get pulled over all the time, but this stop, it was different. The body cam footage showed it clear.
Enlighten me on who you are. You sing, you
No, because you still gonna pick on me. You don't matter who I am.
pick on you. I'm not picking on you. You're
'Cause I'm
driving and I can smell alcohol off your breath.
But I'm not drunk. I can tell you this. I'm on your TV.
Ma'am?
I said, I'm on your TV.
On my TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get this over with because I'm not drunk.
Turn around for me.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
You are
I'm
under
gonna
arrest.
take this. I'm gonna take this.
That doesn't change anything. You still are going to be arrested.
For what?
Okay.
You don't have any proof on me.
No, ma'am, I do.
Glo wasn't getting any benefit of the doubt. You could see it in her eyes. She knew they were treating her like a suspect before anything even went down. Success turned her into a target, and she felt it instantly. When the cop asked GloRilla to ID herself, you could see it in her face. She already knew fame wouldn't shield her. It just made her more of a target. Even though she did the field sobriety tests, the officer kept pushing claims. But Glo stood her ground the entire time. That footage showed someone confused, frustrated, and slowly realizing she was being boxed in, no matter what she said or did. That 2024 arrest should have been a wake-up call, not for her, but for everybody watching how the system moves when a young Black artist starts winning. Instead of backing off, it felt like law enforcement doubled down. Meanwhile, GloRilla's career was on fire. Her collab with Cardi B on Tomorrow 2 went viral, and she was becoming one of the rawest voices in rap. But with the spotlight came non-stop scrutiny, and not all of it was fair. Fame hit hard behind the scenes, too. She went through a brutal breakup that left her barely eating, and all the pressure started messing with her mental health and close relationships. The way she opened up in interviews made fans love her even more, but it also made her an easy target.
I never want nobody to have that much power over me where I can't eat.
Yeah.
No.
I be telling people when you get to that, you just gotta drink protein shakes and Ensures. That's the only way.
You don't even be wanting to drink it. I be having to force myself, and it's like, what am I doing? I can't eat this.
Legal drama kept piling up, beefs with old producers, deals falling through, and nonstop stress trying to keep up her image while real life was crashing behind the scenes. But through it all, GloRilla showed just how tough she really is. In August 2024, GloRilla caught backlash for using an offensive word in her lyrics. But instead of making excuses, she owned it. She switched the bar to "Me and my BH got naughty" and dropped the update on X. Fans showed love instantly, calling her a considerate queen and praising her for actually listening. That type of accountability? Rare in the game. Then came her debut album, Glorious, in October, and with it, more drama. One track, Rain Down on Me, featured gospel heavyweights like Kirk Franklin and Maverick City Music. Some folks in the gospel world weren't feeling it, claiming Glo's explicit background clashed with church vibes. But real ones clapped back, reminding everyone that Glo grew up in the church, sang in the choir, and wasn't trying to ride no gospel wave. This was her honoring her roots, and she didn't stop there. Glo kept speaking out even when people tried to body shame her. Her clapback? No, I'm not getting a BBL. I already feel like the thickest bitten DA world. She stayed unapologetically her through it all. By July 2025, she was headlining big stages like the WNBA All-Star Weekend, living her dream, booked and thriving. But that same night, while she lit up the stage in Indy, back home in Georgia, her place was getting robbed. Some grimy folks hit her crib knowing she wasn't home. Success had made her a star, but also a target. 3 suspects broke into GloRilla's home, and when a family member fired at them, they dipped, but not before snatching jewelry and leaving her loved ones shaken. Her sense of safety? Gone. And here's where it all gets twisted. Instead of going after the criminals who broke in, cops focused on a stash of weed they found in her bedroom closet.
Ms. Woods was out of town when her residence became a target for a group of home invaders who most likely knew she wasn't there. What they didn't know was she had family staying with her that were traumatized by the violent entrance of this group, who grabbed high-value jewelry before taking off once they realized the home wasn't vacant. Finding law firm ads, when her family members did the right thing and called law enforcement instead of investigating the violent home invasion and theft at Mrs. Wood's home, they instead sought a search warrant when they spotted what they believed was a small amount of marijuana. Lehigh County Sheriff's Office said that the deputies responded to a report of a burglary in progress Saturday around 1:30 a.m. at a residence in the Atlanta suburbs. The sheriff's office says 3 suspects entered the house when an armed occupant fired at the intruders. GloRilla was not home at the time of the burglary, the sheriff's office said. The 3 suspects fled. No injuries have been reported in the incident.
That's right. GloRilla, a victim, ended up in cuffs over something that's legal or decriminalized in most states. Let that sink in. Her house gets violated, her family's traumatized, her stuff stolen, and she's the one facing felony charges. And to make it worse, as of now, no one has been arrested for the actual burglary. The real criminals? Still out there. But Glo didn't fold. When news of her arrest dropped, social media exploded. Not just fans, but folks everywhere were outraged, calling it what it was, a system punishing the victim while the guilty walk free. And Glo, she clapped back fast. No PR fluff, no hiding. Just raw truth. She posted, "Crazy. My house got home invaded Saturday while I was in Indianapolis performing for the WNBA All-Star Game, and instead of focusing on finding the suspects, they focus on some cannabis." That tweet racked up over 3.6 million views and hit hard. People felt it, especially those who've lived through that same injustice. GloRilla didn't just speak out. She exposed the whole system. GloRilla followed up with another post that hit even harder. 1, no, I wasn't busted. 2, my house got robbed. 3, I wasn't even home. Then dropped the mic. Long story short, my house gets home invaded and I'm the only one that gets arrested. So that's T Coffee Shrug Woman. Now let's break it down, because the details are wild. Around 1:30 a.m., Forsyth County cops responded to a burglary in progress call at Glo's house near Atlanta. She was hundreds of miles away in Indianapolis, performing at the WNBA All-Star Game. 3 suspects broke in. Her family was inside. There was fear, shots fired, jewelry stolen. The whole thing was chaos. So the crime? Clear. The victims? Clear. The suspects? Clear. But what did police do? Instead of focusing on the burglars, they brought in K9 units, drones, got a search warrant, and went through Glo's stuff, all to arrest her for some weed found in her closet. That's the part that really had people fuming. Her lawyer, Drew Findling, called it out plain and simple. Glo's family called the police for help, and law enforcement flipped the script. Instead of hunting down the invaders, they built a case against the victim. You can't make this stuff up. No arrest warrants have been issued for the people who actually broke into GloRilla's home. The ones who scared her family and stole her stuff, they're still out here free. Meanwhile, Glo, the victim, is facing felony charges that could land her behind bars for years. This ain't just about weed. It's about how the system flips on successful young Black artists the second they level up without permission. It's about punishing success instead of protecting victims. And Glo ain't the only one who sees it. The hip-hop world and beyond is speaking out. Artists, fans, and activists are all asking, how is this justice? How is this protecting anyone? How does this make anybody safer? But the strongest response didn't come from a press release. It came from Glo herself. Even with felony charges hanging over her head, she showed up to perform at her Glo Bash in Memphis at the FedEx Forum. No hiding, no canceling, no folding. She stood tall, proving she's built different. Just like always, from choir girl to rap queen, GloRilla's journey has never been easy, but her impact? Undeniable. GloRilla's always used her voice to speak up, not just for herself, but for others who came from the same struggle. But what she's facing now? It's way bigger than one artist or one case. This is part of a pattern, where young Black artists hit success, and suddenly the system starts looking for reasons to tear them down. It's like the higher you climb, the tighter the rules get. Glo's legal situation is serious. She's facing felony charges for marijuana and a controlled substance, charges that could bring real prison time. And beyond that, it could stop her from traveling, doing shows, or expanding her career the way she planned. The irony is crazy. This is a woman who went from sleeping on air mattresses to building a whole empire. She's inspired fans, given back, and stayed true to herself. The kind of story people say they love, until she becomes too powerful. Then the system flips. And this ain't the first time. Remember that DUI in April 2024? The scrutiny she's getting goes way deeper than the usual celebrity mess. It's like her success put a bullseye on her back. Now, she's staring down a legal battle that won't be easy. But if Glo's proven anything, it's that she doesn't fold. Her legal team's locked in and she's ready to fight for everything she built. Attorney Drew Findling called GloRilla's arrest a disturbing window into how twisted law enforcement priorities have become. And that wasn't just lawyer talk. It was a real statement that hit home for people who've seen this kind of injustice play out too many times. Right now, the future of Glo's case is still up in the air. The system moves slow and no one knows how it'll end. But one thing's already locked in. GloRilla already won where it counts. She showed the world her strength, her realness, and her refusal to fold under pressure. She turned pain into power and became a symbol of hope for anyone chasing a dream through struggle. Whether she beats the charges or this becomes another example of the system failing its own, one thing's clear: her impact on hip-hop, the culture, and an entire generation is unstoppable. Thanks for watching. If you're feeling this story, hit that like button, share it, and make sure to subscribe. We've got way more drama and truth coming your way.